Hello everyone and welcome to IR Photo Tours, and today we've got a special day. We've got a lovely friend here called Ross. He's now bought a drone, a new drone. It's called the Mini 3 Pro. Now I nearly didn't say the Pro because it sounds a bit weird, but you know, that's what it is. That's what they've marketed it as. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to show you all the ins and outs of the Mini Pro. It won't be all the ins and outs because that would be a very long-winded video, but we can show you some of the bits and pieces here at Haysborough, where I love flying the drones. To be fair, you got all the cliffs, you got all the lovely scenery, and today we've got a lot of mood going on in the clouds. We certainly pick our days, don't we, Ross? Yeah, when it comes to well, don't speak too soon. I can see a heavy cloud going on over there, but hopefully it's going that way. So we are looking at the Mini 3. Here it is, and the controller. Got a little bit of a jealousy thing going on with this screen though, if I'm honest. Why didn't they put it on the Mavic 3? Pay all that money, you get a basic controller, don't you? But anyway, you got it on this baby, and you got that as well. So all in all, what was the cost and what was the combo, Ross?
So it was about 935 quid, I think it was, for the drone in there, and then the Fly More package, and it's now sold separately.
Okay, and what do you get in the Fly More package?
Two more batteries, the charge hub, and the bag. So that's all you get. There's no ND filters that you used to get with the Fly More, which is disappointing. But we've got a golden ticket. If someone can tell me what the golden ticket's all about, that would be appreciated, because I've got no idea. I've not managed to find anyone with a definite answer. So I have a golden ticket. I don't know what it's for.
Maybe it's to the chocolate factory.
Yeah, well, that's what everyone keeps saying.
Well, we're waiting in anticipation. Maybe somebody out there knows what that golden ticket is.
Yeah.
Please get in touch. Put a comment down below if you know what it is. We would love to find out what that is, wouldn't we?
Intrigued.
Very intrigued. Weird, but there you go. Anyway, so how did you get the golden ticket? Let's go from there.
If you pre-ordered with the first couple of days of pre-orders, then that was bundled in with it.
Really?
So, yeah. Okay,
right. Well, look, we're gonna get this up and see what it's capable of doing. It's quite a windy day today, isn't it?
Yep.
This afternoon. It's 6:30 in the afternoon. Car park's totally empty, and we've got the place to ourselves, which is fantastic. Well, that makes it quite unusual in itself for this place, but there you go. So we're going to get it up, get this baby up and see what you can do, see if it can cope with this wind. And as you can possibly hear, it's very windy. Ross, you've allowed me to fly your brand new machine, haven't you? You trust me?
Yep.
That's a lot of pressure on me. Do you want me to do it? I've got slightly longer nails.
Yeah.
You watch it fly across the everywhere.
The Mini was easy, but this is freaking nightmare. It's got to go so far in before it clicks. There you go, you got it.
Cool. That does, doesn't it? Even the Mavic 3's not that bad. And that's bad enough where it's positioned.
Yeah, so literally just pull the screen down, and that brings up all your options. You got screenshot or screen record, so we just go screen record and get that going. That's it.
Brilliant. Wow. So I've just accidentally
you got buttons on the back.
Done the gimbal
so
on the back. So straight away, you just got to be a little bit careful where you put your fingers.
Yeah, so that one does your landscape to portrait, and then that one resets your gimbal position for 90 degrees and forwards.
Right, brilliant.
And don't forget, you've also got, you can 60-degree pitch up with the gimbal on this as well.
Yeah, so you can go right up. Yeah, that's nice. That's a nice little feature. You can with the Mavic 3, but I don't know how far this goes compared to the Mavic 3. Does it go right up? 60. You have bought this out of all your hard-earned pennies, haven't you? Yep. DJI have not come to us with any of this gear, so it is a completely honest review on the Mini 3 Pro. Straight away, I do like the size. I always have liked the size of these minis. However, the functions and for me, being a landscape photographer, it's always been about the camera and whether the camera was going to be good enough. And I'm pleased to say that the sensor on this is really close to the Air 2S, to a 1-inch sensor, which is really nice. Now, I have got the Air 2 as well, and that Air 2 has a 1/2-inch sensor. And to be fair, that creates great video, even with a 1/2-inch sensor. So this should do really well, really. We're in normal mode. We can go in cine mode or sport mode if we wish. And we have a home button on here as well. And yeah, we'll go from there. Now we have got, we can change the camera from camera to...
So that takes a picture.
So that'll take the picture, and the other one is video. So if we press that, we are now doing video. Now I did notice straight away that cropped in on video, and we're at 4K 30 frames a second. We're going to stop that because we want a nice 60 frames a second. I love 60 frames. It just makes the video look really smooth and beautiful. So there's even if you make a mistake in the air, like jolt it a little bit, it can get ironed out with that 60 frames a second. So we're bleeping away, and that is because of the sensors being quite close to the van. I've just tapped that button again. That's going to be annoying. Stop doing that, Ian. And off we go. So we're going to get it up. So what am I doing wrong? Will it not allow me to go up because it's too close? Oh, we're spinning away. Sorry, I apologise. We're already started. That's how quiet it is, Ross. That is, I swear to God, I didn't even think we had started yet. Yeah. Oh my God. So we're ready for the off. So here we go. Nice and gently does it. Now, I'll try and get it on the video so you can see it. Because when you turn, I want you to see the angle of it. Look at that angle. It's like nose up, but that is its natural angle of flight. And the only other thing that I did notice as well, we're hovering here just for a sec. The other thing that I noticed as well, that is how far that camera is protruding in front of the nose of the drone. Now, if that hits a tree and you haven't got your sensors on, then you need to worry, I think, because you'll be forking out for a new gimbal, I reckon. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's quite a... Yeah. I can see why they've done the design because of the portrait mode and the landscape mode. I get that, but that is not a good design in that respect. I think they could have come back a bit more or brought those sensors, like these sensors here, the front sensors, I think they could have brought them more forward, personally, and that might have covered the camera a bit more. Anyway, we're going to go for a flight now, so see you in a minute, guys. Off we go. So we are now going to go to the lighthouse, which is, and the thing is, I can see that clearly even from here, so that's quite nice to acknowledge. So I am looking at the screen and looking at the drone, and I'm sure Ross is looking at the drone for me.
I've got line of sight for you.
Yeah, lovely, thank you, because that's important, of course. So it's quite a cropped in 4K. So what size, what is the focal length of the camera itself?
I have not got a clue off the top of my head.
Because I'm way out there, and that is a long distance away for that, which is quite amazing. So I'd love to know what the focal length is on this camera, because it does seem quite a tight, I think that's probably around about 24mm.
There is a wide angle lens adapter, so I wonder if that's why they've brought that out.
Ah, right, gotcha.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Yeah.
why they've done that, because instantly, that's something I've noticed straight away,
Yeah.
is how close we are, or how close it looks on the video. I mean, we are a good, what would you call that? What would you call that? About 50 feet or 100 feet?
Yeah.
Would you say 100 feet? It's got to be 100 feet, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we are that close to it. Now, if I go forward more, I would be then going into the lighthouse too much if I was going to take a shot. But saying that, let's stop the video for a second, and let's see what the picture gives us, because that seems quite mad in itself. So let's have a look at. Yeah, now that's gone right out, and it's as you can see, we've gone right out there.
Yeah.
And I'll take the photo. I know it's not, we'll get the EVF down, because it's not like the Mavic 3 where you've got aperture, because there's no aperture on this.
No, it's 1.7 fixed.
Yeah, so we bring that down a touch to get rid of the, so you've got no filters on it yet, because DJI haven't
Got
stock of filters at all yet.
Yeah.
They have designed them, I presume,
Yes.
and yeah. So there is that. So it's a kind of a waiting game with these new products from DJI, but they are fantastic, to be honest. Let's face it, this is brilliant. What a great idea. My phone I can use as a screen over there. I don't need to put it on a controller, which is great. I like that. I like that a lot. And I hope they bring this out, or make it viable to go on the Mavic 3, because if they do, then I'll buy one of these. I believe they're about £150. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Comment down below, how much are these? I believe they're about £150, and if they were to do it for the Mavic Pro, wouldn't we all be very pleased with that? I think we would. Not the Mavic Pro, I mean, it's not even a Pro, Mavic 3. No, they didn't even call that a Mavic. They didn't call that a Mavic 3 Pro, did they? Mini 3 Pro, yay! Marketing. But I tell you what, I've got to say, the image quality on that is really nice. I do like it. I do like the image quality. So let's go and fly around, and bearing in mind the wind.
It is windy.
It is windy, and that is coping with that, and it doesn't have a single notification of wind. Because when I get my Mavic 3 up, it'll keep pinging me if it's too windy.
Yeah.
No pinging here, so it's obviously capable of getting through that wind. Right, so now I'm going to go over to the cliff side and have a look. And what we're going to do there is have a bit of a speed test to see what it's like. So at the moment I'm in normal mode, and we are going. Oh, he hasn't set it up, so we're going.
I have. I'm in English, not that foreign distance that you measure stuff in.
No, what's that?
That's meters per second.
No.
What are you looking for?
Miles per hour.
Miles.
Yeah. Can we not do miles per hour?
You can. Yeah.
Why, is that old hat then?
Yeah, that is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it? Well, I'm 56. Oh dear, there's always miles per hour in this country. Surely. Getting that. Ah, there we go. Imperial. Imperial? Or miles, meters, kilometres? I think it's imperial, isn't it?
If you want mile an hour, that's imperial.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Right, so we're going to go miles per hour, guys. For us in the UK, it's miles per hour. And you guys everywhere else, it's kilometres per hour, I believe. We are going to go pretty much against the wind here, which is what I'm doing. And that is going 20 miles per hour, 21, 22. Wow, I'm impressed. 22, 22.9, 23 now, 23, 23.5, 4, sorry. And that is something I'll always do with flying a drone. I will always go against the wind first to test out how it is against the wind and what speed you get and blah, blah, blah. Because if you do it the other way and you find you can't get back because the wind's too strong, what's going to happen? Answers down below. Well, I can tell you what's going to happen. You're not going to get it back, are you? So let's bring it back to us, because I know definitely this is, the wind's blowing this way, isn't it?
Yep.
It's got to be. It feels like it is. So let's go. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. It seems to me like 23, 24 mile an hour is its max, with or without the wind, if that makes sense.
Possibly it's because maybe the wind direction is being whipped around because of down where we are.
Well, I kind of think that that is its max in normal mode.
Possibly.
So let's look at sport mode, and our sport mode, as you know, has no collision sensors on or anything like that. So it is down to you to be very careful, or me, should I say. So off we go. Oh my God.
That looked like it was shifting.
That's against the wind, and we were doing a 28 mile an hour. So going with the wind, let's see what we get with that. Here we go. Oh yeah, well, we're going 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. I've got 36. For a little drone like that, isn't it? That is so impressive. Now, battery, we're looking at, was that fully charged when we flew?
No, because I did a few test flights just to check for wind.
Okay, so where was it roughly?
We're about 90.
Well, we can look back anyway.
You can look at screen recording, yeah.
But we got 38% left, and that's that's pretty good if I'm honest. Because obviously I do a bit of video with the without the video on screen, if that makes sense. Because I don't know, I'm pretty sure that wouldn't be 4K on screen recording. So
no, it's not even 1080, unfortunately.
Isn't it?
No.
No, right. So it's not even 1080p that you're looking at, which is a shame. 760, is it?
I think so.
The other nice thing about owning a drone that's under 250 grams is the legalities of it. That you've got a little bit more freedom. You can fly within 5 feet of people if you wish to, can't you? I do believe so from the test.
And you can fly over people, which you can't do with anything else, as
Yeah.
long as it's not what they deem as a crowd of people.
Yeah, as long as it's not in a stadium or something like that, that'd be ridiculous. I think we all know that anyway. But I love the stance of it, don't you? That looks like it's ready to rock and roll, don't you? That's really nice. And I'm noticing blades on angles as well.
Yeah.
So that's quite interesting.
Yeah.
There you go. So we're going to just turn that one off first. I don't think we'd bother turning this off, do we? Or shall we?
Right. No, it's fine.
And the other unusual thing is the cover on the Mini 3 is on the battery itself, whereas before with the Mini 2, I believe there was a cover and then the battery is inside the cover, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, which I would find strange myself because I'm always used to drones that you put the batteries in, you know, and that's it. So that's I kind of think that's quite an unusual design that they came up with the Mini 2. But yeah, so we're ready to rock and roll, are we?
Yep.
So, satellites. Right, so now the new battery's in. We have got no satellites yet. So how long does that take to get satellites? Is it longer than the Mavic 3? Because everyone was complaining about the Mavic 3 with its satellites. But we've got 13. There you go. There you go. So we've got it. So off we go.
I just wanted to find out where the slow-mo was, didn't you?
Yep, slow-mo would probably be in here somewhere, I think. There you go, slow motion.
Yeah.
There you go. So it is like the Mavic 3 in the respect that slow motion is in the menu. And yeah, so we got 1080 at 120 frames a second. So let's have a go and play with that. Oh, look at those lovely clouds over there. Now this is the kind of time where you ought to do a hyperlapse, really. So this is 120 frames a second. Obviously going very slow. So I'm just going to go down and have a look at these lovely, beautiful waves actually. It's quite, because it's windy, we're getting some really nice movement in those waves down there. Really nice. Now if you put an ND filter on here and they're strong enough, I'd imagine you get some lovely shots from this with the streaks going back at half a second maybe. Panoramic on here with their panoramic software, if you like, then you're going to get a JPEG out of it. Whereas this, what I'm doing now, you're going to get a nice raw file, and you can put that raw file together to make the best photo you can have. So I'm going to take a nice view here. Right, so that's me with that. So that in itself is great for that reason, and that's amazing. Let's do a HDR. AEB. What does that stand for, Ross?
Automatic exposure bracketing.
Automatic exposure bracketing.
Yeah.
So we can choose 3 or 5. And I'm not asking him because I don't know. I'm just sort of.
Here's.
All right. Fair dues. Damn. Didn't get away with that one, did I? No. So the other thing that I really like about this drone is look how far up you can go with the gimbal. Oh my God. I'm looking at space.
Yeah.
Oh my word. Cool, you're going to have to be quite low to get something, aren't you? Like
but could you imagine sort of coming in quite low to the lighthouse?
Yeah, and then looking up.
And then, I don't know, there's lots of creative possibilities.
Yeah, it could be. So again, bracketing, we need to get that down a bit because that's better. God, look at that. Oh. So that's our bracketed shot. That looks amazing. And because we haven't got a filter on, in photography itself myself, I would always put, I would always lean towards the darker side if you have no filters. That way you're retaining nice detail up there, and you are getting detail down there, of course, but yes, slightly darker. But as long as you keep within the parameters of your histogram, you're fine, aren't you? We've got a 48 megapixel picture, but that's not a true 48 megapixels. It is actually stacked. And just so you know, in case you're buying this drone because it's got 48 megapixels of sensor, it hasn't. It's got 12 megapixels of sensor, and they stack the images on top of each other to make a 48 megapixel image, and that's all done automatically in camera. So we've also got a time shot which you can choose 7 seconds, 10 seconds or 15 seconds. So if we were to be in somewhere wonderful with mountains behind us and backdrops and what have you, and we could go, yeah, you know, and 7 second shot, we'd be posed doing what we want to do, and not have the shot missed. Okay, so next one is Hyperlapse. That's the one I really wanted to do. Where would Hyperlapse be? Oh, there it is. Got it. Sorry. Must look more closely. So set shooting parameters. Aircraft will automatically shoot and create hyperlapse videos. So we want, let's have a look. So if we tap that button there, we've got interval of 3 seconds. Can we go a little bit more? No, we probably wouldn't go more because we don't want to. So we'll tick that. Length, what's the length? Problem is that's in the way. Let's get rid of that up there. miles per hour. We don't want to go too fast with Hyperlapse. We want to go about less than half a mile an hour for a nice flowing, smooth Hyperlapse. So there we have it. We're going to pinpoint the greenhouse, the lighthouse, and off we go. So that will do its stuff for approximately 6 minutes. And while we're doing a Hyperlapse, we're going to have a cup of sugar. 42% left.
So it's fighting that strong wind up there.
You've got 7 minutes left. 8 minutes left. Sorry, 8 minutes it says. It chops and changes, depends on. Yeah. But it's giving an average, isn't it, as it goes?
Well, really,
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm very impressed.
And they do an extended battery as well.
Yeah, but they won't allow that in the UK or Europe apparently, because of the weight restriction with the 250 grams. If you put that in, that then becomes over the weight limit. All good in the hood?
Yeah, just processing.
So it'll take a little bit of time to process, of course. What we're going to do now is have a quick look on the screen and show you that video that we just did, or the time lapse, and hopefully it'll be on there. I'll just get my goggle boxes on and have a look. So that was the time lapse, so let's have a look at that. Were those clouds moving fast enough? Oh wow. Oh wow. I'm impressed.
Lovely old job.
Lovely old job. That is a lovely old job. I want to do another one. But we can't do that because you've seen it. There it goes. There you go. How cool is that? And that was just like a few seconds. That's all it was. I'm impressed with that. Very impressed with that. Very, very smooth. Very smooth, isn't it? There's no buffing, nothing.
And it's windy.
That's what I'm getting at. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can see how windy it is because of the way our clothes are wandering about in the wind. And that just held really nicely. I'm impressed. I'm really impressed. From a little drone like that, I'm really impressed. We're going to master shots. Oh yes, we need. Yeah, that's the other thing about master shot. If you click on it on the ground, it doesn't want to know. It's not going to do anything. So you have to take flight. Take off. That goes up nice and easily. It's not rapid like the Mavic 3, but do you know what? It don't matter. You don't want it all rapid. If you want nice smooth footage and video footage, you don't want it all rapid. It's nice to get there quick to your destination if that's the case, but apart from that, yeah. So we're going to look at this and go to the greenhouse, go to the lighthouse, and got greenhouse on my brain. That God, that's only because I'm growing loads of vegetables in it. So here we go. So again, we're going to go into master shots. Yeah, and we're going to. Yeah, it's giving me a demonstration now. Yeah, thank you. Right, yeah, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. So draw around your subject, give it a go, and we are going to get master shots. Now, master shots is a series of different videos. It will do all sorts of different things. Tap to set flight route parameters. Estimated flight time 2 minutes. So height. Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
So now it's going to do a series of video shots and then put it all together as a really nice special piece of video. It's now doing a droney. which is going quite a way back. And this is quite amazing. So it's just basically going to give you all the functions and features that you would normally see, really, you know, with drone footage, and give you all the best ones. So now we're going to do a pitch up, which means it's going to fly forward and literally pitch up over the lighthouse like that. There you go. And that's the kind of shot that I would do as well if I was doing shots without doing this, if that makes sense. So this function is going to go through all different series of different shots, put them all together for you, and there you have it. You have a lovely automatic video that you can put music to or anything really. And we're already halfway through these shots. It's now doing a circle medium. It's done a circle close. It's done a droney. It's done all sorts. I can't remember. It's done so many. So we're nearly 3/4 the way through. Now it's doing a rocket. Camera down and fly forward. So it's going to do camera down, fly forward. I hope that's high enough. Yes, it is. just freak me out then. That's the only one that I don't. Oh, is it high enough? But yeah, there you go. Oh, it's done a bit of a spasm then, and now it's doing a camera down and circle right above it, right above the lighthouse. Amazing. Camera straight and descend. Really? Okay, so this is the bit that I might take over. No, I'm okay. You've got to trust this, haven't you? You've got to trust this. It's a bit worrying. So that's amazing. That's an amazing shot. Wow. Wow, that's cool. So now it's returning. It's done all of its shots. It's now returning. So that is it. So there you go. That is the master shots. And then below, right, so we can do droney, rocket, circle, spiral, helix, boomerang, and asteroid. My personal favourite with all the drones that I've had is the asteroid. I quite like that. I'll bring the gimbal down a touch, and now we'll do. There we go. Tap. Off we go. 1, go. What's it doing? So it's going to do a miniature world. So this is asteroid. That should come out quite a long way. He says. I hope so.
Climate.
Oh, I see. I see. So what it's doing is a series of images now, all over, all the way round.
Yeah.
And that'll create a world. That's quite mad. The only thing is with these though, that you can't keep them as a raw image, sadly. I'm pretty sure of that. So when you do these, it is a JPEG. So that's complete. So that's returning. Will it process? Dun dun dun. Will we see the end result? Who knows? Okay, so let's have a look at that. We have 63% on the battery still. There you go. We have a droney. That's a bit mad, isn't it? Not a drone, yes,
Asteroid.
asteroid, even. So what else can we do? So a lot of these are just, you know, your standard features really with all the drones that we've known. But what makes this a bit more special is the sensor and the fact that you can go, no you can't, not while you're in that mode. Right, let's get back to normal then, video. Right, so can you do this in video? Yes you can. Right, so there you go. You can create a video in that mode as well. This one here this controller takes the SD card, which is in here, and you can put the SD card in so then you can record on screen, and then you take the SD card out. That's another thing I like about this, because that way you haven't got to use your phone again and have to, you know, utilize an app on the phone to record your phone. My favorite things about it are the camera gimbal, the sensor, and this baby, and the fact it's light. It's legal. You don't necessarily have to take the C2 license, do you?
No, the A2.
The A2, sorry, not the C2. The A2 license, you don't necessarily have to take that. So there you go, guys. That has been a lot of footage about this drone. An awful lot of footage, and there's stuff I just have not covered, but that would make this video absolutely huge, and we don't want to do that and bore you, do we? So we could come back and do more video at another later date and show you what the low light capability is like on this drone as well, which I think we're going to probably do later on. And now I'm going to just land, and I'm going to get out of the way. And you can hear the sensors going. So there is one more thing I will do, and that is I'm going to get this drone to follow you around the car park, or over there even, and see how it reacts with diggers and stuff like that, whether it'll go round it and what have you.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is follow mode. Whee! Yep. So we're going to go to that height and bring it down a bit, bring the gimbal down, and then we're going to draw around Ross, and it'll focus track not supported in current video mode. Okay, so what do we need?
4K 30.
4K 30.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try that. How to lock target, spotlight, active track. We want active track. Okay, close. Give me active track. Right, and go. So off you go then, Ross. Let's see how it deals with you. Well, it seems to be working, that's for sure. Now, can we, with my toggle, get in front of him? For God's sake, look where you're going. He won't care if you fall over. Oh, mate, that's good. That's good. So, what about over where the diggers are, and see how it copes with you there? Now, I'm obviously just flying from the back side of him. We can go different views. Hold on a minute. Bear with me. Right, we're going spotlight. Okay, so off you go. And now we go active track. Go parallel. Go. Right, so obstacle avoidance is unavailable in parallel mode, so we better go back to trace, because that has got obstacle avoidance. So that's clearly working, and you can sort of go round the back and follow him any way you want, which is quite cool. So it clearly does follow very well, and the active track really does work rather well. Now, it hasn't got side sensors, and I can see, and I'm just watching this because you know, we don't want it going into the digger, do we? Because it hasn't got the side sensors that the Mavic 3 has, but it does have forward, up and bottom, I believe. So that acts, the forward one overlaps the bottom one as well, by the way, so it gets a huge angle of censorship. So I would say, and just to click the X over Ross's head will disable it, and you can see the orange little glow there. That's telling me behind us there's obstacles. And now we're going to just land the beast. Well, you can't call it a beast, can you? Because it's not really a beast, is it?
Mini one.
It's a mini beast, but it is a lovely drone. Right, so there you go, guys. That is a lot of the features on there that I've shown you, and there is a lot. And if you know, they just, you can have fun for a very long time with this drone. I would say we're going to stop recording on this now. Stop. There you go. Makes a wonderful noise, and that is it. So the other thing I would say as well about the propellers, did you put the propellers on?
No, they came.
They're already on, were they?
Yeah.
So do you know how to change the propellers?
Yeah,
have you learned? Knowing you have.
Yeah. So with the other ones, obviously you got push fittings. With these, the same as the other Mini, they're screw on, which is, you know, a little bit more of a pain.
Yeah.
But they had to cut the weight some method, and that was one of the things they had to do. So
that's fine, isn't it? And the thing is, once they're on, aren't they? You don't have to take them off, do you? But make sure you do screw them on properly. Don't want them coming off in flight. But yeah, I mean, it's quite an unusual drone and a very unusual design, actually. But like I say, I mean, when the filters come, yeah, I mean, that's going to be quite nice for the filters. But yeah, it's an interesting drone, isn't it? It really is. It's a bit different to all the other drones that DJI have come out with, especially with that gimbal turning. I think that's quite a pretty cool feature, actually, and especially for me doing panoramics. That will work really, really well, and I'll show you the panoramic later on. I took about 10 shots all the way through, and all the way out to there from the lighthouse, and yeah, it should be good. So we'll show you all the shots now and let you decide on what you think, okay? And the quality of the images as well. So I haven't seen them yet. You will, and see what you think. Anyway, Ross, thank you very much, sir. I'll let you have that, and begrudgingly, because it is nice. And oh God, make me spend my money, Ross. But no, it's a nice drone. It's a lovely drone, and I think it's worth the money. I know that the Mini 2 was a lot cheaper, was it? It was about 500, 400, 450, something like that, around about that figure. But you're not getting a Mini 2, you're getting a completely redesigned Mini 3, which actually is more like, I would say it's very close to being an S2. Air 2S, sorry, an Air 2S, definitely. Do you not think?
Yeah.
Would you say that? I would.
You got a slightly reduced sensor size. Doesn't quite shoot, you know, 4K's a limit rather than 5.2, but other than that, pretty good.
That's only 2 features.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And you're getting that. So how much was the Air 2S? With the combo and everything, about 1,300, something like that.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, you know, as developments of technology grow, you've got to accept there's going to be an increase in price. You have to. I mean, it's just the way it is. That's the world that we live in, you know. If you want something a bit special, you're going to pay for it. Anyway, guys, enough from me. I've babbled on enough. Thank you, Ross. It has been a lovely old job. See you later, guys.
See you later.